Welcome to AltJake Takes On.
Hello again, everybody. We are back. This is AltJake. You're listening to AltJake Takes On. I'm with my good friend, Mr. George by Elegance. How you doing today, buddy? Had to do it once for anybody who caught the
I'll just let
NXT watch.
Doing well.
No, that was. There's a small group of people that are really loving that, but that's great.
Yeah, it's pretty funny actually.
It's right. That's good. It's good stuff. It's
yeah.
Hey, if we can make people laugh, that was literally like the main focus of the channel, was trying to bring people together with comedy and having fun, as opposed to the big channels that just yell at everybody. It's been an interesting week in wrestling with WWE being in, well, I guess both companies really being in Europe over the last week.
Yeah. Hey, before we get there, we talked about a little bit before we were in the back talking before we went on the air. But thanks to everybody for watching our Roger Jackson video. We had a really good turnout there.
Yeah, and the interaction too. I was really happy to see a lot of the comments.
Yeah, that's where I'm heading now.
Yeah, perfect.
With the interaction, some things were brought up, and Brad Likes Wrestling had me look at something, which I did. Psycho Stu's still in the hospital.
Right, but he's up and awake. That was the thing.
But no clue. He has no balance. We kind of reported he was. We didn't report it,
right?
But we said he was out, but he's not out. Not out of the hospital. He's still there.
Right. Yeah. No. He's awake, but he's not.
Yeah.
Which makes a lot of sense.
Also, the cowboy hat guy, AJ Mana, has been fired.
Oh. That I didn't see.
I did see something else. The hero, Doug Mallow, he has quit the company. Okay.
All right. Yeah, I can't.
And he gave Scaling Up podcast. If you haven't seen the interview, go there. 25 minutes of Doug Mallow talking. He's the hero that jumps in and saves Stu.
Right.
It's a great interview. A lot of F-bombs. But he talks about the whole thing, and it was the quickest 25 minutes I've ever spent on the internet.
Yeah.
Amazing. So.
I haven't seen all of it, but I've seen most of it. Like one of those things where the clip I saw was like 11 minutes. So I saw a good chunk of it.
You have to catch the whole thing to catch everything all in context to how he describes everything. So
yeah, and if people don't know, I'm on vacation right now, so I'm paying attention as best I can, but catching where I can within it. But like you said, a lot of F-bombs, but you can feel a lot of truth within it. That like it's and like we said, like the angle of it, I feel it's so terrible for him, because there are certain people that are like, why did it take so long? And people don't realize, like, they're not seeing what we're seeing. That wasn't like a TV camera angle. That was somebody's cell phone footage.
Yeah, when you listen to the interview, he blames a lot of people that are supposedly Stu's friends that are standing in the ring, part of the match, that don't do a thing. Just stand there. He blows by people that should have been in there first. Yeah, and the first kid that was in there was literally 17 years old. The 17-year-old kid jumped in there because he felt like he could help, and realized when he was in there, oh shit.
Right, but at least he was good. And I mean, like we said during the thing, and like everybody said, like, work or not, even if they had planned this, and like if they had planned it, the moment that he hits it and he is out, game's changed. You know, like maybe one or two shots you could see, but if you just can't, he's not defending himself. I don't care what the spot is. That doesn't.
But it's called Scaling Up podcast. Okay. I just watched it twice before we came on. So
good. No, I'm glad. Yeah, I mean, I can't blame the guy for even the guy. That's just the whole. This is one of those situations where nobody's good. Like nobody comes out of everything sucks. You know, there's just certain situations where you just
think about what happened here. You got one guy that just got fired. You got a guy in the hospital. You got a guy that's going to be. He hasn't been arrested yet, which is kind of strange to me.
Right.
That's going on. They lost their WWID program status for training programs, and people are. If you listen to Cornette's thing that came out about this,
I haven't yet, but
it's very telling. Like he breaks it down really good.
I'm sure.
He breaks down the receipt thing, which I reposted. Shane Helms
Yes, I did.
Explain what a receipt actually is, and I quote tweeted it, which I had no idea how I was doing, but I did it. and everything's explained. And this place, I feel bad for Rikishi, honestly, because Rikishi owns it with Gangrel, which no one's ever mentioning in this whole thing. Gangrel's part owner of this deal too, by the way.
Right.
And
they'll just say David Heath, and you're like, well, no, that's
they're taking stuff that I don't know, man.
Yeah, no,
it's not their fault, but put somebody in charge that knows what the hell they're doing.
Right. Yeah, and then you feel bad too for Rampage Jackson too, because I mean, whatever happened, I mean, like he's not, it's his son, and
I'm not feeling that bad for him. He's one of those. Okay, he's one of those dads that tries to pump up his kid by going, "This is my opinion, folks. My opinion." He's one of those dads that goes, "Oh, you're gonna let that guy in the tights beat you like that? That's bullshit, man. You can't do that." And that's what he said during the thing. So there's a lot of stuff that was going on that we didn't really get into covering, which is fine because I didn't want to get into that deep. I just wanted to let people know what a 59-year-old dude in Arkansas saw. And that's why we did it.
No, and that was great. And there's been, I mean, hey, if nothing else, like I said, with the comments that have come in that are a lot that's sparked a lot of great discussions, and there's a lot of interaction, a lot of views, a lot of likes on it. Even if people, I feel like most people, at least from what I've seen, 100% agreed with you. But even if they didn't, one of the things I love about what we do is that's okay. Like if people have differing opinions, like you and I are not going to agree on everything. If we did, this show would be boring as hell.
Like when Brad said, I think he's out of the hospital, or I think he's still in the hospital, I wrote back the first time. I'm like, I'm pretty sure he's out. And then I had to go back. Then this morning I was on their report and I'm like, he's backing out. So I got to tell this guy, I'm out. Brad, I'm sorry. I jumped the gun, and you were right. Thank you for,
Hey, shout out to, I think that's Brad Becker on Twitter. So it's the same guy.
I'm confused. I thought it was, but I'm kind of confused with the whole new YouTube thing. I don't know who's who anymore.
Yeah, no, that's one of the things that I always tried to do, and that's how I ended up getting the AltJake name as my gimmick name, because I tried to use that as my name on as many channels as I could. Really, it was a play on the band AltJ. It was a fun, because then I would be this. If I made a comment on Twitter and made a comment on YouTube, people get to see it was the same person. That's actually how I ended up connecting with Phil of PWT, because he was, this is the same guy. He's made, it's because it happens to me too. It happened with. Was it Mike Saucerlees that tried to enter one of our spaces? And anybody who asked to speak, I'm not going to say no, but at least try to vet the person a little bit. I'm not trying to get somebody who's going to come in rampaging. And he was like, no, it's me. Oh shit. Well, now if I had the same name, I would have got it. No, it's fun. But
yeah,
I'm very happy to see as many people interacting and starting up discussions. It's cool because it's really what we're trying to do. It's why we do this stuff on Spaces, and I'm sure it will probably come up on.
Speaking of which,
I'll let you get it. Yep, I'll let you make the announcement.
We're gonna do the preview.
Right, today's the preview. Yeah,
today's the preview of Clash in Paris. Sunday Spaces, we're gonna do the review with myself, Jake there, and Johnny Bottles over from SC Maniacs.
So yeah, Johnny.
We're killing two birds with one stone with this episode.
Perfect.
On Sunday, so.
Yeah, no, it'll be fun. And Johnny has always been great with us, whether when he's popped in or when I've filled in for Donna or when I made an appearance on their show with the two of them. Johnny's always, he and I click really well. We have similar senses of humor, and it'll be cool to see not only his opinion on everything else that's happened, but this is going to be like pretty fresh after Clash in Paris. Like we'll still go at a regular time of 8:05 Eastern, but Clash will have come through and should be an interesting show, which I guess is the best way to kind of lead us into the discussions that we're going to have. Now, this is the only updated card I could find because there is, I think SmackDown's literally going live right now as we're recording, but one more match.
Not going live. It's on tape.
Well, if it is, it's live if you have Netflix or the. It was
live this afternoon.
Did it already finish? I wasn't sure what time it was supposed to start, but I know they're in a sixth match.
They're in where SmackDown's in Paris tonight or this afternoon.
Is it?
It's already done.
I know that they're doing Paris. I don't know if there was 3 shows in Paris because I know they're doing Raw in Paris right after. I thought they might have been because the video clip I saw was Cena with the kid from Belgium again, but Belgium's not far from any of that. They're all in that area, but the bottom line is there's one more match onto the card that I don't have, which is the Wyatt Six versus the Street Profits in just a standard match. I thought it might be a Street Fight or something, but just a standard tag match. But that's the one that's not on here for it because I'm sure it gets aired on.
I wouldn't have missed it if you wouldn't have put it on.
Right, so I was just gonna say when I thought to you, I was like, well, if it's that one. And then we do got to give the quick shout out to Stephanie Vaquer, who was supposed to wrestle Naomi on this show, but obviously with Big Jim locking it in there, that match gets moved. I'm not sure when. I think she's going to be in a match on Monday afterwards, but I'm not sure. But
the reason why I'm laughing audience wise is Jake put this picture in before we started. He goes, in case we get to the subject, and it's the first thing he talked about.
It fit into it. It sells me down the river, people. Do you see this? All right, let's get into at least the matches on the card that we know for sure. That'll be fun. Yes, son of a.
I just thought that was funny. I wasn't expecting it until maybe later.
Into the card. Yeah, it worked into it. But the clip that I saw from SmackDown was Cena and Logan Paul having a promo battle for this match. I think this is a good match for them to have, though, because Cena's only got 10 matches left, and I feel like Logan Paul. I mean,
appearances, not really matches.
Right, that's true. But I didn't know what the number is of it. No, you're right. And how many of those will be matches? I feel like having a match against Logan Paul makes a lot of sense because, as annoying as he is, he's so damn good at this, and he's gonna be a future world champion. We all know it. I think it's a good match for them to have, and a good match for Logan to get. I don't know if he'll actually beat Cena, but maybe he does with it. I mean, if he does, maybe some cheap way or whatever. But I think it's gonna be a good fun match for sure.
You're gonna have to wonder what Logan Paul does with a small camera of some kind or whatever he decides to do this time to go viral. Yeah. So it's always something. It's pretty cool.
It is, and what's cool is it's all in a similar vein, but he does seem to take it to the next level each time or do something a little bit different. Yeah. And what's great is he's good enough that he's figured this out enough to know that the spot doesn't always have to be him hitting it. When he doesn't hit it or gets it ends up, going just as viral. And that's one of the reasons why he's good at this. Shout out back to the last PLE with SummerSlam of Jelly Roll. He wanted to lose. There's certain people get what this is about. And I feel like as annoying as the kid is, Logan Paul's great at this.
I wonder how he can top that last one, though. The last one was really good.
It really was. And
with the camera, I like when the camera, he does that thing is amazing.
And I mean, I wonder if there's something in how the arena is built, if they can have it come around it. I don't know, but I'm sure they'll do something, and I'm sure it'll be great, and maybe it will even end up where when it comes into Logan, then Cena can pop up behind him, and they'll have another great meme created from that. I feel like a meme will come out of this match.
The drone, Logan Paul controls the drone and it hits John Cena back of the head, or he knocks out the referee with a drone shot.
Hits him in the bald spot. Yeah.
Oh, there's no bald spot anymore, dude. Those hair transplants were great.
Hey,
good for him.
From the Turkish hair plants is a very real thing. You see it in a lot of European soccer players and TV and analysts. There, all of a sudden they're gone for a few weeks and come back with a brand new hairline. Hey,
it's impressive.
I fully respect it. As somebody who doesn't have to worry about that, I've got too much hair. I've got the Jufro. But no, I think this will be a good match, and I feel like either this match will open up the card or this match will open up the card. I feel like Roman and John both know, if you're not the main event, get it out, get it completed early. But I think this might be the shortest match on the card here. This Roman and Braun. I feel like it's going to be a quick, almost like Roman and Lesnar would be, where they just spam each other with finishers, beat the snot out of each other, and I assume Roman goes over to look at Payman, but maybe not. I could see maybe Breaker getting involved.
I already went on a limb and said Reed, no problem.
Okay,
no problem. That's a bit much.
But it would make a lot of sense. As I said, you heard me. I was confident until I finished the sentence, and I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
Because I haven't really spent, I'm on vacation in San Diego, so I haven't spent too much time deep thinking about it. So you guys are getting my literal live thought and reactions to it. But the more I think about it, I think it makes more sense for Reed to go over because it keeps it going with Roman winning.
It's ended.
Then what? Right?
You're done. Yeah.
And then what? Yeah. And maybe
keep it going for a while, do 2 or 3 against Reed, then move on to Breaker or something like that. Maybe, I don't know.
Ooh, yeah, because I feel that might work timeline wise too, because we know Roman doesn't have the super schedule. Because I feel like Roman versus Breaker this year's WrestleMania just makes the most sense. It's so much money right there, and the spear versus spear, I think that would be perfect. And with Heyman involved, it just makes a lot of sense. But I think this. Yeah, no, you've convinced me. Now I think it's Reed no problem too. Now, I mean, there'll be shenanigans, but I think that Reed makes the most sense. Also, too, I don't know if I haven't heard anything or if they're thinking about it, but I feel like if they were gonna debut somebody else into the Heyman Seth group, it would be during this match. They seem to like to do debuts overseas, so we'll see. Could be fun, right?
I haven't thought about that. I don't think there would be anybody new introduced. I don't think. That's me.
I don't either. I just feel like there was a lot of conversations for a long time of adding to this group. I don't think they need to either. I think the group is perfect where it is. Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree with you. I just felt like, hey, if it does happen, at least we can say I said it. And if it doesn't, no one will remember. It's fine.
Pepperidge Farm remembers.
Yeah. Pepperidge Farm remembers. He's always going to throw me under the bus. You already got me once.
No, I threw the Pepperidge Farm thing. You're good. You're clear.
I'm just kidding. No, that was great. The back Carolina, you totally got me too. It's fantastic. The other things that get me, well, maybe not this one as much. I appreciate Nikki Bella.
Really? This is on the show?
This is, yeah, it is. I feel like this is more because Becky's European, and maybe they want to have Nikki. I mean, I guess she's I guess they're stars. I don't know. I've never really. Yeah, I mean, I'm from Arizona. The Bellas are from Arizona, but I've just never been. I mean, I appreciate them for what they do, but this as wrestling.
Is this a PLE match?
I mean, because it's for the Intercontinental title, they're gonna say yes, but I don't think so.
Yeah. No.
I feel like this is the women's match that they put in to replace. Oh yeah, absolutely. But I just don't feel like this was all that exciting. I don't even know the build for it. I've just seen. I mean, the build. They've had a few little.
I've seen.
Yeah, they've had a few little promos.
Exactly.
Right. There was a couple of decent lines, like when Becky made the line about Nikki, and Cena and stuff. But it just hasn't been great. But and that's why I feel like Becky's got to retain. Like it doesn't make any sense for Nikki to win the IC title.
No, not at all.
Right. I don't. Yeah. But I'm not sure this match. Maybe this is how something where. Like Bailey will come back as insane Bailey, like they've been doing with the clip. I don't really know. I feel like there's got to be something into having this match on the show.
Yeah, see, here's the weird thing that you and I kind of discussed it earlier, text wise. WWE's in this rut where you can watch the first 15-20 minutes of a show and then watch the last 15 minutes of the show, and you'd be happier than a pig in poop. And all that middle stuff is just filler.
Yeah,
both shows they're in this cycle, man. It's boring.
Yeah, no, and honestly, like a lot of times you could just catch the last half hour because they're gonna give you the they're gonna.
You gotta watch the beginning. The beginning's very good.
Yeah, no,
beginnings are Raw. Yeah, beginnings of Raw have been great. Beginnings of SmackDown have been great.
But if you didn't catch it, they'll
you're right.
It for you. But I'm with you, because the beginning of this week's Raw with Roman's promo was amazing, and it was one of those things where. People a lot of times bitch about an opening promo, but there's some people that can just do it right. And Roman was fantastic.
Yeah, but after that, it was shit.
It really went downhill till the end. And me, I always want to try to be the positive guy within what I can find in it, but unfortunately, it is kind of in that lull. Now, my hope is that they're kind of setting it up to where they've got some decent ideas for the end of the year to set them up, like we said, into your gut, because we're not far. It doesn't seem it, I know, but we're really not that far from the Royal Rumble, And then you're going to Mania season. So I'm hoping that it picks back up there, but I don't know.
I mean, obviously they're not going to be as hot as they were a couple years to a year ago. That's not going to happen. It might again. That's fine. But at least keep your foot on the gas. Don't take it off completely. You know what I mean? I understand that AEW is not doing their thing. That's fine. No competition. Just keep the foot on the gas pedal, dude. Come on.
Yeah, no, because the best example is look at NXT, because I feel like NXT is doing stuff like every time you see like NXT from this Tuesday, I watched the replay stuff, and I'm like I've got to catch the rest of the full episode on it, because the NXT always has something going on in the background that's going to build into something with it. I feel like Raw and SmackDown is very paint by numbers in certain areas. There are still certain things that I do enjoy, but that's usually at the beginning and the end of the show. So it's just been, but no, it's a very valid point that we brought up multiple times, and we'll continue to until it gets a little bit more oomph to it. And I don't think that'll happen with this Raw or with SmackDown tonight and Raw on Monday.
Yeah, they're just going to cruise into it.
Yeah, they cruise in those because the overseas crowds kind of make it easy with them. So when they come back, building into WrestlePalooza is still
yeah.
But that's got to be. I feel like that's got to be a banger of a show.
I think it's
building into.
I think it's time to stop counter programming AEW and stop being so consumed by that and just focus on your own shit.
Here's the thing: do it with NXT. Let NXT do that. Don't worry about it.
Okay, I'll give you that one. I'll give you that. That's fine.
I think that's the play. I think just let NXT do it, and maybe if there's those times where they can have the take over a town over a weekend and make it work. But I would have the focus be NXT.
That's fair.
Being that on it. Because it also does seem like Sean is the one who's the most petty. Like, I feel like Triple H doesn't really care.
Yeah.
Nick Khan does. Nick Khan's a petty son of a bitch, and I love that about the guy. But I feel like shit. Yeah, and maybe that can let Nick and Sean get a little bit more work together. I feel like that's fine. Let NXT do it.
That's fair. I'll give you that. I like it.
This match is surprising me on the card, but I guess you have two Europeans in Europe that are going to beat the snot out of each other.
Yeah, I have no desire to see any of this.
I'm looking forward to parts of it, but this needs to be where this story ends, or they either need to team up or part ways. I do think it's going to be them teaming up. Though.
Teaming up, yes.
What the hell else are they going to do, right? Where else are you going to go with these two guys? Like Sheamus,
you can't.
Yeah, he has had. I mean, he's a great talent and all, but he's run his course essentially. I mean,
there's
not much. Really right. We said it from the off when he was Miro and left AEW. The best bet was to be Rusev, but in TNA. But I mean, I can't blame him.
I was surprised they brought him back.
I absolutely. I think he might have was surprised, like when he got the call, like, oh no shit, okay. Like who's not going to take a WWE contract right now? But Well, this match, I mean, what you're getting here. You know how it's going to go. You know what's going to happen. You just got to figure out who's going to win and how they're going to get together at the end. And that's maybe where they do like a double knockout or something. Like they go with like the Rocky 3 freeze frame ending, but they hit each other.
I could double DQ.
Well, it's a Donnybrook match. So I don't think you have a double DQ.
Oh, okay, never mind.
DQ'd. But a Donnybrook gives you the chance of knocking each, or like maybe Rusev spears through something over a table. I feel like that's where this ends in a no decision because they're both knocked out and they kind of the old gunslinger boxer storyline of. Oh shit! We better team up because
I don't mind that.
I don't either. And also,
it's gonna have to be a huge bump or angle at the end in order to pull that off, though. Yes, you can't just have Rusev go through a table with Sheamus on top. That ain't gonna work.
Yeah, right. No, you're right. And I feel like that needs to be what this match is centered around to get that forward and get them to go through with it because. Yeah, I could. There'll be something with it being a Donnybrook had been planned out as it is. I would assume.
Yeah, I like that, Jake. I like to know. I like the no contest thing.
Yeah, it makes sense.
No contest, but double, whatever the hell you just said, it was good.
Yeah, it makes sense. No, yeah, it does. I like it, and it would be honestly like maybe be able to put some injection into the tag team division. Whether it's, this will be on Raw, I would assume, but both shows the tag team divisions have been kind of like. Like there's been I will give the Judgment Day are always fun when they have the belt. They've been there, they do great work, but who do you think, like looking at the roster, who's going to take it from them? I don't know, but if you had Sheamus and Rusev beating the snot out of people, okay, I could see that. It'd be fun. Not a long-standing tag team, but they'd be a fun tag team for a bit.
A lot of these two guys included. I mean, you got end of the year, man. That's time to retire, maybe.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not being rude. I'm just saying NXT has so much talent down there. It's time to start bringing the few up. I'm not talking like 6 or 7, 1 or 2. Bring them in there. Trick Williams is ready. Couple guys are, couple guys aren't. The women are all ready, but that's beside that whole different kettle of fish.
You nailed it. I'm glad you said Trick specifically because he's a guy that if you bring him in, where these guys are on the card. That's his spot right now. You know what I mean? Like he would be right now. You bring him in upper mid card. Like that's where he is to moving forward. They're on the different trajectories. Because Trick is on the up train, and both of these are upper mid cards. But they're going. Neither of these guys are going to be world champion ever again. As where Trick absolutely is. So
Jay's got what that you like doing? What do you like doing?
Yeet.
Okay, what does Trick have?
Whoop that trick. Yep.
It's built right in already. It's built in. It's there.
Yeah, it is.
You just got to bring it here. The fans are going to go crazy for that shit.
Yep, and make sure whoever is on commentary can do the Booker T. I like, because it worked. It worked from day one with Trick, and yeah, and he just has that. He could be a heel. He can be a babyface. You know, they might end up teaming him up with Carmelo Hayes again, so that Carmelo can get some Trick rub. No. Yeah, I don't think they should either, but I could see them doing that at one point. But I feel like Trick. I mean, we've been saying it. His run is ending. I think October 12th until he's on the main roster the next day or the next week. Once he loses that TNA title to Mike Santana, which is exciting. I think that's gonna be fun. But yeah, but this spot right here, these are the guys. Ricky Saints too, or whoever else you want to bring up. I know a lot of people think Obafemi's ready. I think he could be, but I think he's better being the big dog in the little pond for now as he grows up. But because there's guys like this that you got to get out of the way to bring the better talents up in it.
It's no sign of disrespect at all. It's just you had, I mean, God, Sheamus has been there for what, 15, 20 years?
I think it's closer to 20, yeah, and he's won everything.
Yeah, I mean, except the
IC title, which is a great, if that's his last storyline, whatever with it. But I mean, technically he was Edge's retirement match. I know the Cope guy has done other things, but we're gonna say Edge retirement. But I mean, it's the clock is absolutely ticking, and I understand
turning into WCW here with the Hogan and Nash and everybody keeping the young guys down.
Yep. Man, we'll see where it goes, but hopefully sooner than later they move along.
Yeah,
they will. I agree. Yeah, I think they're smart enough to know. And then Sheamus, I think that's why he's done the Celtic Warrior workout so much and has built that channel up. If that's what he ends up doing, that's great. And then what they'll do is just bring that in to be part of the WWE family, and it'll be like their podcast shows, and he can make a bunch of money and be a coach, and then maybe come back for a match here or there if they need. Show up in Ireland. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
The main event of the show, the Fatal 4-Way match. This one should be at least interesting and fun, but you got CM Punk, LA Knight, the Yeet Man Jey Uso, and Seth freaking Rollins. Are they still calling him freaking? I'm not sure, but
they kind of,
they went away with it. They brought it back. They take it away. They need to make I think it and his theme song both need to go away so that he can be a real heel. Because then people won't be owing, but that's just me.
No, it's a lot of people actually.
Yeah, no, it really is. The 4-Ways, I'm excited for this, and I think that because you have such 4 very talented guys in there that understand the business, you will get a good and fun match out of it. I just always, 4-Ways are kind of, there's a point where, I mean, I understand why you do them, especially in France. It makes a ton of sense. It's 4 major stars. I mean, they're 4 of the biggest stars in the entire company, aside from Cody and Roman. Roman on the card.
Man. You got it.
Yeah. Perfect. No, but this should be fun. I don't see any way that it's not Seth winning and retaining, but we'll see. I mean, I don't know where else you would go with it.
Well, I don't know, man. I could see. I can't see Seth really losing. Yeah. But it wouldn't surprise me if he threw like a monkey wrench into things and gave it to LA Knight for a stint.
I mean, that would be cool to see because I feel like if anybody needs it, it is him.
Yeah. Plus, okay, I just thought about this, by the way. If you give it to LA Knight, they've already built the feud with CM Punk. Before this match even remember they were tag team partners. They tried to get that whole
They've been promoting each other. Like their promos have been at everybody, but really individualized. Yeah, you're right.
I'd be all over.
It would make
sense.
That. It would, and it would shake some things up with it. I just don't know what you would do with Seth's group after that. But or maybe they fight to get back. It could be interesting. I would think with where they are storyline wise, it will come out that way. I think what happens is Knight and Punk end up taking each other out of this, and then they end up having a singles match at WrestlePalooza or wherever. That would make a lot of sense, but. I just took your theory and flip flopped it with the title. That's all. Yeah, but I mean, it would be fun. And LA Knight, because there are some people that kind of, and he has kind of peaked at a point. Like, there's what else he needs to do something else or move just because he's fought for the title a lot and he says how great he is, but he doesn't actually win. There's a point where that gets old, but he's been very over and still very charismatic, so maybe it won't. But I would like to. I think he's the one who would need it. I just don't think it's now when to do it. Unfortunately.
Yeah, they can go anyway with this. I mean,
yeah. No.
I mean, look at it. Any of the 4-1, would you be surprised?
Not at all.
Yeah,
not at all. I think any of it would make a lot of sense and be able to move the storylines forward, especially Punk or Uso with like what they've done. And then, like you said, with LA Knight, I think if LA Knight won, maybe he would become more of a heel. But would see. I mean, I don't know. Maybe just have him and Punk as a babyface. I'm not as opposed to that as it used to be. So it could be fun. I'd be into it. And then the other news of the day, and I should have grabbed a picture of it, but at least we got to mention.
Did we actually discuss the Wyatt?
We talked at the beginning of it. We didn't really.
We didn't really.
Yeah, because you like you said, if I didn't bring it up,
but it's gonna be a match we're gonna have to watch. So
yeah, no, it's true. I mean, I would, with the Wyatts, like, is that still work? Like, you want it to work and you want it to get over, but is it? I don't know. It might be a time to put the. Yeah, exactly. I want it to. I really do, but I just haven't felt. So I think
all the spooky stuff has gone its direction already. I think we're getting out of it now as a person on my side.
Yeah,
I'm over it. I'm good.
Yeah, no, it's one of those, honestly, like, just like with Bray's last run, like getting to the return was better than anything that happened after, unfortunately. And you want it to work. I just don't. I don't know. It hasn't for me yet, and I know for most people it hasn't. I know there's a group that wants it to, but maybe we're getting into Halloween, fans. So maybe there is. Exactly. It's really just more that we really did love who Bray Wyatt was, especially as a person, And I get that. He was awesome. I mean, every time you see videos from him, I just saw one recently that Matt Hardy posted of when Bray was like Matt's youngest son or something, and like Matt's youngest son, his favorite wrestler was Bray, and Bray was awesome with him, and it was at a house show, and they brought him in the ring to do the poses and stuff like that. Like that kind of stuff, you can see why people love Bray. Like it makes a lot of sense. Why you want it to work for the Wyatt Sticks.
I think it passed with Bray, and it's torch to stay.
I think that I agree. Now, but what I was going to say, the other thing I was going to say was I just wanted to say a shout out and a congratulations to Cody and Brandy Rhodes, who had another daughter today. That was just announced that Lalani Rhodes was born at like 10 a.m. Eastern time this morning, somewhere around there is when they posted it. But
unbeknownst to anybody,
right? And like everyone was like, "Oh, Cody's leaving to film his movie," and maybe he was, but it was also, I think it was to become a dad again, which is awesome. I mean, that's smart because I know Brandy's in an age where you can have a healthy pregnancy, but it can still not work out, and so I'm not so superstitious, but I absolutely believe in jinxes, so I'd have done the same thing. But that's awesome, and I feel like Cody. I mean, Cody's just one of these people that just does as a good human whatever he does. So the more children that he can be a father of, probably a good thing for the planet, And
and not bad for your pocketbook if you're a kid either.
Oh, yeah, no, not at all. And with how talented female wrestlers, important and talented female wrestling has become, there's two possibilities for nepo babies in the future. They could be talented, so we'll see. But I just wanted to at least say congratulations. He's my favorite current wrestler, so I had to at least shout out Cody for his family.
Definitely. Before we check out,
what's up?
We talked about this yesterday too, text wise. I know NXT didn't do that great in the ratings this week either. And then came AEW's ratings this week.
We talk about it every time.
It was just weird because NXT was like, I think 680. I'm trying to look for it now as I'm talking to you, which never works out good for me. But I know that. Hang on. You keep talking for a second while I do this.
No. Well, like what I was saying is what we always talk about, whatever the numbers are, NXT number comes out and we're like, ooh, that's not good. And we always say, ooh, that's great. And no matter what, AEW will play up or down to that level. Like if NXT does 750, AEW will do like 697 or 702 and do something great. But if NXT does like 615, AEW does 585. I think that was
this week. Yeah, this week NXT and the CW did 616.
6. I was close. Price is Right rules. That was good.
616, and then you were like, okay, well, AEW can actually beat them.
And it was AEW from the ECW arena too.
But
like
that was, that you think then they cranked out 585.
Oh,
and there's no Little League World Series that I saw. So I think
is it the U.S. Open? Is that the sporting event?
Tennis.
I don't
tennis.
know.
First of the league baseball and then tennis. What's next?
Synchronized
the cornhole tournament was on the Ocho this week. Sorry.
The Ocho, yeah. And synchronized swimming is going to come in, or what was it? Rhythmic gymnastics. I think that might be another one with the ribbons.
Oh,
no, I just no matter what. I know this, and this week I can for both companies. It's not that surprising that the numbers were because I know a lot of schools went back that week, so that's a big part of it and families and things. But it's just so funny that no matter what, the gap always stays, no matter, and it's funny. I rarely ever see it really, really is. And I didn't see the NXT. I saw both numbers at the same time when I saw them first, so I didn't. But if I saw NXT's number was where it was, I would have assumed that at least would have been a push or a little bit more to AEW, if not for nothing else, for the ECW arena part of it.
That's the first thing I thought was they're gonna easily beat, not easily, but they would have beat them.
Just get a few, And I'm wondering. I obviously didn't watch. Look, I'm on vacation. I'm paying attention to where I can, but I'm not going to force myself to watch because it was also a post pay-per-view show, and as we've talked about 1,000 times, I saw some of the I read a breakdown of it and saw some highlights like for the one where the guy threw him out of the ring and he didn't quite land properly. We threw Darby out. Yeah, was it Andrade again? Oh, jeez, or not Andrade. Claudio.
Yeah, here's the problem, and we talked about this again. It was $1 million. That was your high point. Then it became 900,000.
Right.
800,000. 700,000 was a decent number, but it wasn't 800. But 700 was the new benchmark. What's becoming now? It's going to be 600 is the benchmark now. If they get over 600, that's going to be great. Last year was, oh my God, it's amazing to watch this decline.
Year-over-year decline, and that is why. And look, we're not anti-AEW people. We want it to be good. We want it to be better. The problem is that Tony will still give you that propaganda and say, "Oh no, we're doing great. Things are better than they've ever been." Like
I'm not sure I do anymore, Jake. I'm not sure I do anymore. No, I'm not being funny. I'm just being serious.
Yeah, because it's hit. Like I've said it for the last 3 or 4 years. They're not going to succeed with Tony Khan at the helm. Like unless he gets other people around, which he's just not going to do because he will believe this crap. He makes sure to put out the numbers. Like shout out to WrestleGraphs that posted up the numbers. He said, quarter 3 of this year was bigger than quarter 1 of the year before, but like that one, and the timing of it just doesn't make any, because he's trying to make it work and put the numbers in. He's like a shitty politician, like, oh look, I've done this, but you haven't, and like just admit it and move forward. Because they've got a decent roster of talent. There's something there they could work, but you're only focused on for the sickos, and there's not that many sickos out there, unfortunately, we've seen. And I also think, like, the amount of people that used to don't hate watch anymore, don't care anymore. It's hard to.
That's what's happening. Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, also too, like with how NXT is such a better show. If not everybody's got access to TNA, but TNA is at least more entertaining, I feel like, than AEW when I watch it.
The other thing is though, when you're watching TNA or NXT, you're listening to a promo and you're not expecting the guy's mic not to work.
Yeah. Oh God.
Like,
the tech issues. Yeah.
The tech issues are something that's unforgivable, dude. That's not Tony Khan's fault. But,
it is if you're underpaying the wrong people.
That's where I was just going.
You gotta figure out, they've put somebody in charge who can do this. I know whoever was doing it is your friend, but friends don't fuck up your friend's company.
Use the union people you're supposed to be using.
Yes. Yeah. That's another thing that's come up with it too, because they're doing a residency in an area that should be working with the union, and the union. Look, I don't know much about those worlds, but I know don't fuck with the Teamsters, man. Just
they're not the Teamsters though.
Nah.
But you still don't mess with them. But they're not the Teamsters. But yeah, you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, for sure.
But the other thing, last thing that I had was when you watch Tony Khan's into this little thing now where he's going live on X a lot. These things are gold, absolute gold. I never realized. I'm not being mean, but I've never realized how disconnected he is from everyday human beings as I've seen in this series of stuff he's been doing.
Yeah,
it's amazing, dude. Like, he's like no concept, zero. Like, when you look, even if you knew Vince McMahon was a billionaire, he could come across as a common dude.
Right.
He could. If he wanted to, he could.
Right.
Tony Khan doesn't know what a common dude even is.
Right.
It's sad.
No, and I mean, we've said it too when we talk about how they'll do, 2 pay-per-views 3 weeks apart or a week after, because he doesn't understand the concept of money, because he's never had to work, which also means he doesn't understand the concept of work or understand the concept of, like buying, of like what it costs to buy a house or buy furniture. Like, he just has never had to deal with the real world because of his father's money. And you see that a lot of times with billionaires, where sometimes they will try to raise their kids as best they can to be more down to earth. But I mean, when you have that much money and everybody around you knows you have that much money, it's hard to
go back to
interact like a real person.
Yeah. Go back to the Vince example I just gave you.
Mm-hmm.
What did Vince do with his 2 kids? He put them into the company at a lower level and made them work for it.
He made Stephanie.
No, seriously. I mean, they worked for what they got.
Yeah, no.
Shane was setting up the ring and shit like that.
Yeah. Yep. And Stephanie was working in, like, there's pictures of her like modeling the terrible merch of it, or, working as interns. They would, their summer jobs from college was being interns for WWF.
And that's what you had. That's what you do. If you're gonna be a billionaire, you're gonna have kids. They're gonna be spoiled as shit. But at least put them to work and learn what it's like to be Joe Blow down the street.
Right. At least understand that they're being spoiled and things are given to them. And maybe they'll appreciate the life that they have, and then try to help others with it. And, all for all their flaws and stuff, like, you does see like Stephanie and Shane both do try to give back a lot with things and a lot of it they don't do publicly. Stephanie does try to give a lot to women's organizations, and, done a lot to, you don't want to say women from physically abusive relationships. You don't want to use like terrible terminology for that, but that kind of thing. I know Stephanie's done a lot for that stuff, and just Stephanie, people being real and like knowing how to like interact with the human. They're a little bit weird, Shane and Stephanie, but you could, like you said, they could get by. They would be able to. Tony, when he talks to people, it just doesn't click with him of what a real human being is.
Yeah, you look at Shane and Stephanie in one corner and look at Tony in the other.
Yeah. It is. And
the difference is you can start just picking them up. Once they start talking, you could throw them all to one side and they all be on Shane and Stephanie's side, because Tony doesn't have a clue.
Yep.
He really doesn't.
He just doesn't. No, and that's why I don't understand why there isn't someone that tells him, please stop doing interviews. Please stop doing these podcasts or your.
No, don't stop doing the Twitter Live, man.
Oh, they're great.
Don't stop doing those.
I just feel like if he was the leader of my company, I would try to be more. Who's
going to tell him? Who's going to tell him? Who's going to tell him? Who?
I got nothing.
Okay, Jake. Example. Okay, you work at AEW. You're Tony's main writer. He's paying. No, hang on. Yeah. He's paying you $750 a year, and you get bonuses on pay-per-views. And you don't like what he does on TV. Are you going to tell him he doesn't want? No, exactly.
No,
that's the problem.
No, and you could see it too with anybody who's working for them. Like, you see it happen. Like, even with William Regal, he probably came in trying to do things and help, and just saw that the only people that were being listened to were yes men. You've heard it. Like, JR didn't say it completely, but you'd hear sometimes in the where JR would talk about the meetings they used to have, where he was talking about how, like, look, I know Orange Cassidy is a gimmick that certain people like, but we've got to place it where he's only on TV certain times. And Tony's like, no, he's leading the ratings. The ratings prop big here, but that's just because they were putting him in the first segment every week or whatever. And it's just because that's what the yes men were telling him, because they know that Tony loves Orange Cassidy. He dressed up like it was Halloween. And when he's that rich, like, does it matter? Like, it should, but it doesn't.
And he pays people well.
Oh,
congratulations to JR, by the way. He signed a new 1-year deal.
Hey, yeah, you can't blame him for that. I wish I would like him to be able to do like the WWE documentaries and that kind of stuff with it, but can't blame him for getting paid.
Dude, his voice is. What is he? 70-something, 75?
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's a life-threatening illness every 2 years or so, and beats it every time.
Yeah,
takes its toll, man. Takes its toll.
Yeah, no, and he was like I don't think he is anymore, but he was like a lifelong smoker, and that's never good.
I'll take a look at his podcast, see if he's still smoking.
Yeah, right.
Wouldn't surprise if he still is. Wouldn't surprise
me. Wouldn't me either. But yeah, a lot of the people too, once they've beaten so many things, they're determined like, well, fuck it, I'm going. Yeah, I'm going out the way I want to. Which
keep going. I beat it 3 times already. Fuck.
Right. Especially like, I'll keep kicking out. Hey, can't blame him for that. Yeah, no, I didn't hear that. Yeah, that was good for him. Shout out to JR. I do like hearing him on the calls of their matches that are more watchable. Like to keep putting him on like the super hardcore matches or the matches with forks in ears, and I don't want to hear him calling those matches. But if you can get anything like a real wrestling match, there's no better.
He fits in, but one match is it though. He can't do 2. Or he could, but this sounds bad after 2. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and with their matches too, and how long they are, they all go 25 plus minutes. No, it's good for him. I did not hear he had that. So good for him.
Yeah, I caught that today.
Nice.
It happened yesterday, I think. Yeah.
Cool. Was there anything else we wanted to cover? I had a list here. We knocked everything I want to talk about.
I don't think anything else. Talked about Spaces. Yeah, Spaces bottles this week, and then we have a special guest next week.
Oh.
Which I will not announce yet. I will announce it on Sunday.
Awesome. And I will find out live with everybody usually. That's how it works.
You know who this is already. I told you.
Sure. Oh, you probably did.
I did. I'll let it go because I'll let it go because you're.
I don't want to blow it. No.
Sunshine.
Yeah. All good. Well, thanks everybody for listening. As always, please like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Leave a comment too. As you see, George and I are very responsive to comments. We love interacting with folks. So please we will happily respond back, and whether we agree on stuff or not, that's not the point. We can have topical discussions and disagree and still have fun and be friends. It all works out. So we love each and every one of you. Thanks for listening, everybody, and we will catch you next time. Peace.